I think people got to change a little bit their mindset that we're not, we're in sales and sales is there, but it's a sales business, but I think it's more of like an earning the trust business. Welcome to the Earn the Signature Podcast. As you know, we are here to give you motivation and talk about sales, entrepreneurship, and lots of those topics that hopefully make you a better professional. And today we're with Victor Avila. He's definitely not a stranger to our show. We've had some great conversations, and today we're going to talk about relationships, but not the relationships you're talking about.
Like the Love Island relationship?
I know, right? No, not those. We're going to talk about client relationships. So are relationships better than transactions? We're going to say why they are today. And the first question I want to ask, whoever's watching us is, would you rather take 100 transactions now or have 100 people that can give you and build you a business in the next 20 years? So answer that question, actually. Go ahead, Vic.
100 people.
100 people.
100 people. Okay, so we in the office, every Tuesday meeting, Jeremy has this whiteboard of it's like a scattered what is it like where like it started with that one person.
Oh,
and
yeah, for sure.
What do you call that?
It's kind of like it's kind of like a downline, a visual.
Yes, it's like a downline visual of one person that he's had. And that one person turned into like 15 deals or something like that.
Today, the one example that has still my best downline of clients is one person. And to this day, I'm up to probably 38 transactions.
With that, coming from that one person.
One person.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if we had 100 people like that one person, oh my God.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. And mind you, that one person referred me somebody 10 years ago. And then from there, it was maybe one or two more people, then dormant for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And when that 7th year hit, that same person referred me somebody else, and it just blew up.
Yeah.
And from that wasn't actually at the end of 2023. And from the end of 2023 to today is turned into from one transaction to almost 40 transactions, which is incredible. It's insane. Mm-hmm. So having people and having relationships is more important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the livelihood of our business is to, do right by people, and not look at like a one single deal, like a single deal pony or something like that.
Single deal pony.
Look at like the whole, like if you have a really good client, and you do really good by them. They could either refer you to people because a really good client knows other really good people.
Yes.
Right? Or that one person might be so infatuated with how good you did that he'll just keep, throwing you business. He'll keep throwing you business. And especially with investors too. Like if it's an investor and they're buying like multifamilies and all that stuff, if you're doing right by them, they're going to just keep feeding you and feeding you. And
what you just said, I think, is very important. The client that you just got, so let's say you close a client that gave you a $500,000 deal, right? Yeah. Do you think what are the probabilities that person hangs out with $500,000 profile people, right?
Exactly.
Or
like it's true. Like for example, like if you close a doctor, who does the doctor hang out with? Doctors hang out with other doctors. Lawyers hang out with other lawyers. Real estate agents hang out with other real estate agents. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. So like for example, I have this didn't come from real estate exactly, but it came from me when I was a boxing coach. Mm-hmm. I used to train these basketball players, and they got me to meet other basketball players, and I sold them houses. Mm-hmm. So the people that I initially meet, I didn't sell them, but they introduced me to other basketball players that I did. And I've done a couple other deals with those people. So relationships in our business, I would rather pick 100 people than 100 transactions any day.
That's beautiful. So, and then going back to my example, where my downline blew up is where one of those people that was referred to me was an investor. out of those 40 deals that I'm almost 40 deals I'm in right now. And that one investor, I got him a phenomenal deal on a property. And from there, so far, that one investor has introduced me to 6 other investors from his network that all 6 of them have purchased. Exactly. And specifically, 2 of those have done multiple deals with me. Not only did I get them the deal to do a flip off market or whatever it might be, but I also was able to sell that property as well. Yeah. So that one transaction turned into 2, and you can do the math from there. Right. So multiple transactions from there. So as we're in sales, I think people got to change a little bit their mindset that we're not. We're in sales and sales is there, but it's a sales business, but I think it's more of like an earning the trust business. Yeah. When you earn the trust of somebody, they're going to give you the business. Yeah. In my opinion. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of fall through the cracks is not that they're not doing the job. They're making the calls. They're doing this. They're trying their best to get out there, do social media posting and do all this stuff. Yeah. But then what happened to the people that you actually have already closed?
Right. I mean, there's older realtors like 60 in their 60s that are still closing a lot of deals and they don't do any marketing. And it's just from the relationships they built throughout the...
At one point, maybe they were heavy on marketing. They were everything, and then now it's there.
Well, most of the... So I do a lot of multifamilies, right? And I'm always checking, like LoopNet and Crexy and all these places where you find commercial deals that are like over 10 units and everything. Yeah. And I kid you not, like most of these guys that are like that have these $6 million, $7 million listings, most of these guys don't do social media, don't do no marketing, don't do nothing. It's just based on relationships. Maybe they either have a membership in the country club, or you know they went to a good school, or this or that, and they just have good relationships all around them, So I mean, I'll tell you this story. So in my high school, right, I went to high school with this girl, and the girl at like 21 years old, she got her real estate license, and the girl came from like a good wealthy family, and she sold like a $7 million house. That was her first sale, a $7 million house. Imagine that. So yeah, relationships are everything in this business.
No, I love it. So you did a good point where it's where you are surrounded with, right? True. Not all of us in sale, have a rich uncle or, you have to get into the circles that you want to be in, right?
You can put yourself into a circle.
Of course.
Like, for example, okay, like let's say a gym, right? Like if a gym is like $20, right? Or you got a gym that's like $150 or something like that, right? A lot of people do that where they go to say these Equinox gyms or something like that, just not because of the working out or the equipment or anything, just so that way they can meet other people that are in that same bracket.
Correct.
So you can do that. What's it called? There's like leagues, like for example, I'm in a soccer league in Lake Nona, and most of those guys own like their own businesses and all that stuff. Also, sometimes like events like the community chamber,
the chamber of commerce and all that stuff,
as well. So there's plenty of places where you can meet these people, hang around like hotel lounges.
Hey, listen, I always say we actually have
I haven't done that one.
Yeah. We have an agent in our team, Lito. He's young and he's not married yet. He's still lives with his parents, and he's doing a phenomenal job. Actually, as we were talking, he texted me, and I think he might be doing a deal. Nice. So congrats to Lito. But I told him, you're in an age where you don't have any technically responsibilities. You're with your parents. Like, go out and meet people. Any of our single professionals out there right now, I always recommend, listen, you have no kids, you have no wife to actually, like, I would be literally getting into circles where you can get business, going into the hotel lounges, going to the country clubs, and, sports, gyms, whatever it is that you can get into it, I always say, like, anywhere where I go, I'm trying to find that one person that I can open up a network and they can open up their network and we can benefit from each other, because with the relationships also, there's 2 things that I see. You can be, you can't have an open eye, a $5 coffee that you might buy somebody just as a token of gratitude for them meeting with you or talking with you, goes a long way. You go in a hotel lounge, you're having a nice business conversation, you buy a round of drinks, that just speaks volume, is like, et cetera. You know what I mean? I was actually in a cruise not too long ago, and there was a bottle of bourbon that is very rare. Like you can't even buy it at the store. You gotta like special order or whatever. And they actually had it. And so there was this gentleman that was there with me. I was just, getting my round of drinks, whatever. And I remember he asked, oh, you have that bottle? I said, yeah. And it was extra. It wasn't part of the package that you buy at the cruise. And so, he said, oh, no, I'll just go with the one that's included. No problem at all. And then when I got to talk with him or whatever, he owns a very successful insurance company for like 30 years, whatever. And he was in Naples, Florida, the whole nine.
Yeah.
And so, we got to know. He said, what do you do? I'm a real estate agent. Oh, my God, that's awesome. I wish we would have met you before. Or we bought a property like 2 years ago, whatever. So long story short, he wasn't looking because there was a FIFA game on or whatever. I actually bought two drinks of the more expensive one. You know what I mean? And then when he turned back, they were there. I was like, what is this? This is the bottle that you like and I like, so we're gonna have a round of drinks. And like from that point on, like the relationship, we exchanged the Facebook pages or whatever. I got his contact information, and I'm sure he's gonna remember that. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was a relationship. That was in a circle in the oddest of places, and a cruise in the middle of the ocean, finding something like that, Yeah. So I always tell people, like, don't be cheap. Just, if you have an opportunity to spend 10, 15, 20 bucks or whatever your budget is and get somebody to remember you in a certain way, and you can create a relationship. And I've done that like throughout my years of this. Yeah. To this day, I have relationships today that started with a $5 coffee or a $20 lunch. Yeah. That was unexpected,
Exactly.
So, but that's where I'm at. So the key here is building a business, not just doing a transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are ways that you build business? You're in the gym. You play soccer.
Yeah. So I sold a lot of people from the gym. I sold a lot of people from when I used to be a boxing coach. And I sold a lot of people from one purchase, doing a referral as well,
Yeah.
So like, for example, like if I sold a daughter recommends me to the dad.
Yeah, of course.
And then, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So.
And how important is it to keep up with those relationships? Like once you actually do a transaction, do you take steps to actually go back or try to do it?
Yeah. You want to what I do is I try to get I try to write down their birthdays.
Okay.
And then every birthday, reach out to them. Hey, happy birthday. Sometimes the client becomes a friend.
Oh yeah, they do.
I have these two Dominican guys that I still talk to this day. Like we were talking about the World Cup the other day.
I love it.
So sometimes they become super close friends, and sometimes they just become friends, and and sometimes they don't, but you still want to reach out to them here and there and see what's going on.
Yeah, I know one of our clients that we closed about a year ago. She needed to rent a property. I remember that's the first thing she did. She picked up the phone and said, "Oh, hey, Vic, it's time to rent the property."
Yeah.
So what I also recommend is, to anybody that's listening out there is, I use my social media for like 80% business. So I usually connect with a lot of my clients on social media, just because I'm always posting. All the business stuff or whatever. For example, I got a call from a client. Well, I was out on vacation last week, and it was pretty simple. It's like, oh, I've I didn't even know they followed me on Facebook, and they said, oh, I see you doing well. My daughter needs to sell her house. Just let me know when you can come out and check it out. She has to sell. There's no option. She got to sell. So long story short, I got back on Sunday, met with them yesterday, which is Monday, signed a listing agreement, no issues, all because she kept on watching me. I was on social media, and I hadn't heard from this lady probably in about 6 years. I think the last house I sold with her was in COVID. I would exchange that contact information. I think social media has made it unbelievable to build relationships because you get the people's birthday, you get the people's anniversary. When there's a graduation of their kids or something, you see it on there. You can say congratulations, and they'll remember you, and they'll say, I think it's a good thing. So, I think relationships. will build a strong business for a very long time. You just gotta nurture it, just like a marriage relationship. You gotta love is reciprocal.
Yeah, exactly. It's a relationship.
A relationship. Any other stories of great relationships that you've had, or great transactions that have come from relationships that you've created? I know you work with a lot of athletes and multifamily world. We were looking at your transactions a little while ago. You had done some really big up there. So I think those were all through networks, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cool one was when I used to be a boxing coach, right? I met these guys. They used to play professional basketball overseas.
Nice.
And it wasn't those guys I sold, but they recommended me to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, it was this was probably like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
The guy ended up buying a $750,000 house.
Beautiful.
Which now is probably like what, $2-3 million house.
Yeah.
Right. So
Nice.
yeah, I mean, I think that's cool, and I still stay in contact with them and everything, and I think it's just you never know who you're gonna be. I mean, okay, so for example, when I used to be a boxing coach, I used to train a Magic player, an Orlando Magic player. And I was telling him that that I was a realtor and everything, and he was telling me that he bought a house, right? And then I asked him, "Oh, who was your realtor?" And he said, "The team realtor." So imagine that. The team has a realtor.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
imagine if you can be the team realtor. That would be crazy, So because all those players they always get traded,
of course.
They trade, they move out, they trade.
The team,
so it's like you could imagine how many sales and how many times a team brings in a player, then they have to buy a house, or how many times the player leaves and then they have to sell the house.
Yeah, for sure. So, I love it. So anywhere you go, build a relationship. Those relationships will last. Those relationships are going to turn into transactions if you nurture them. Yeah. I got plenty of stories, which we'll save for the next time. But everywhere I go, I try to build those relationships. And I use wherever I need to go anyway, barbershops, gym, places you visit on a weekly to monthly basis, and build those relationships. Yeah. I think it'll be good. So build, not just do a one transaction pony.
Yeah, one
exactly.
transaction pony.
Awesome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow Earnest Nature Podcast. For more, you can hit also the notification bell to get all of the alerts. And we'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day.